on the Forney Creek Trail now. I decided several hours ago that I was doing so well and making such good time, even though I've been putzing around and trying to get photos and bushwhacking to get photos, that I wasn't going to stay at campsite number 70 where Jonas Creek and Forney Creek intersect. And it turns out, in my opinion, that's a good idea, because it's just a wide open campground, between the two creeks, with no privacy at all or anything like that. Even though, who knows, I've pretty much been the only one in each campsite I've been in, except for the first one. So there's Forney Creek there. This is going to be the deepest river crossing I've gotten so far, probably up to my knees, I guess. But I'm doing good, except that I just got stung by a bee on my ring finger for no good reason. Just out of the blue, came up and whacked me. So finger throbs a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that I can forge on to at least 69. I'm not going to try to go to 68 and get up to the falls area on Forney Creek, and basically cut my trip 2 days short on this loop. So we'll see how it goes. We're walking along Forney Creek Trail. Had several good river crossings so far. You can hear Forney Creek down in the valley down there. Can't see it though. We've gone through a couple switchbacks, so we're a lot higher elevation now. But we'll catch up to it soon enough, I imagine. The switchbacks got me wondering. This was an old railroad grade for the logging industry, but they must have just put switches at the end of each switchback. There's no way, even with a short car, they would have been able to do a turn in that. Just the engineer thinking. Past campsite 69 a little over 20 minutes ago, so shouldn't have any problem making it up here to 68. And the cascades that are apparently there, hopefully they won't be surrounded by rhododendron and all that, so you can get some good shots. Wasn't able to get the Yanu branch cascades, just too much stuff in the way. Plus it was sunny, so that makes taking waterfall pictures pretty much impossible. But we're doing pretty good. It's been almost 11-hour day so far. Probably 12-hour day by the time I'm done. And I can still do more. Of course, this is a nice easy grade, being an old railroad bed, so it's just a steady uphill climb. Welcome to campsite 68. Took me exactly 12 hours to get here from the actual Seiler's Bald, not the shelter. Of course, that was with a lot of breaks to bushwhack, to go take photos and all that. So, not all that impressive, but I did at least 15 miles today, which is by far my longest day, and my feet are definitely telling me now. My last update, I was fine, and about halfway between there and here, they were saying, okay, we're tired, we'd like to stop now. So we'll be taking a rest. I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 days, and I've got a couple options to try out. Might try to get in Ramsey Cascades after all. Stay 2 nights at campsite 32. And then maybe add another section of the AT onto my last loop. Instead of spending, I was going to spend 3 nights at 18 and do some day hikes, but I might go ahead and do a loop after all. And if I can get a reservation for Derek Knob and see about doing that for my last loop and get on the AT again. So I really enjoyed that quite a bit, a lot more than I thought I would. So if I feel like walking around to gather enough firewood, I will go ahead and do a fire. That was an easy task at Siler's Bald. There was dead stuff around all over the place, but at least around here I'm not seeing a whole lot, you know. So we'll see. And if I do, then maybe I'll go rinse my clothes off in the creek back there. And I'm standing atop Andrew's Bald. I was going so far ahead of schedule, I guess. I decided it's only 7/10 of a mile from where the Forney Creek Trail meets up with Forney Ridge Trail, so I decided to come out here and have lunch. This is one of the 2 balds that the Park Service is trying to restore to its original bald status, with mostly just the grassland. I think it's called the wild oat grass. But as it turns out, I was on the lower section of campsite 68 last night. I passed the upper section on the way up the ridge, of course, and it would have been a much nicer place to stay, actually. It was right at the foot of the really long cascade, which was quite impressive, and actually could get some good pictures of. So I got that. Though I would not have been alone. There actually were some people in a tent when I went by, so I didn't wake them up. I think 3 people of some sort. But had a good walk, but got started late, probably about 8:38 I think it was, and feet are doing okay, other than my right Achilles. The shoe is starting to bother that one for some reason. That started about the last mile or so going into camp. The soles of my feet are fine again now, but I made an improvised little bootie with a damaged sock that I had. Put some extra padding to kind of push my foot away from the back of the shoe, and that seems to be helping somewhat. So we'll see how that goes. I wanted to try it out before I got to Klingman's Dome and had to decide what am I going to do with this extra 2 days that Now I'm hiking along the Ramsey Cascade Trail now from Klingman's Dome. I drove down through Gatlinburg, which is always a joy. Came over to the Greenbrier Cove area. Hiked up the Grapeyard Ridge Trail to campsite 32 yesterday afternoon. I'd also stopped to get some bandages in Gatlinburg, so that helped the Achilles some. And this morning I got up early and went over to Rhododendron Creek and hiked down the trail there that goes past all the waterfalls. Unfortunately, what I would consider the best fall, I really couldn't get to, and didn't have the gumption to try to bushwhack to that one, just in case my feet were taking a little too much abuse. But the trail follows pretty closely to the creek, and you can get down and get some decent photos of most of them. I got done with that in only an hour and a half. Hiked back out to the road, and let's switch hands here. Hiked back up to my car at the trailhead of the Grapeyard Ridge Trail and drove out here to the trailhead of Ramsey Cascade because it was only like 9:40 by the time I got to my car. But I really just don't want to go back to the campsite now. So